Hello, everyone. So, Barrister AbdulMahmud had this to say. He said, a man who has been serially defamed has finally taken steps to defend his reputation, and suddenly there are voices preaching caution. So, first of all, the way he started, he said, "You might call me a bigot." So that's the way he started it. Strikingly, he said, the loudest of these voices come from Igbo handles online. But here lies the paradox. The greatest danger any ethnic group that has consistently been handed the short end of the stick faces is not open hostility from others, but its own instinct for risk aversion. Where boldness is demanded, it preaches restraint. Where a fight for dignity is necessary, it counsels silence. Let me just look at this particular paragraph, which is quite striking. There was a time, I can't remember what year it was. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was the time that, as of the time that Nnamdi Kanu was starting his whole thing and whatever. And then there was a hashtag that was done, something like I am Igbo bet, something I can't remember. Oh Lord have mercy. I was so angry at that hashtag. Almost like apologizing for what I know I did a series of tweets on that. This I said, what the heck is this? Have you seen any region taking responsibility for all the things that will happen? I say Shekau, the not hard Shekau. Have you seen anybody doing say I am not bet Shekau Kini or something? Why are you guys coming out to take responsibility for anything? And I get that, when you've been in a place where you've been oppressed so much, you begin to think that, okay, let me do this way so that this will not happen. As a woman, I can understand that kind of mentality where people are always like, oh no, don't be confrontational, don't be this, so that they will not say it's your fault, so that this that, and those would not happen. But man, I mean, this is literally almost the same thing here, because most of the handles they are saying are like, oh no, don't do this. Peter Obi should not have done this. Peter Obi should not have what? For years, this person kept defaming, saying all sorts of things. He has evidence. He has it. Now they've said, okay, go to the court and prove the evidence. I don't see anything wrong in that. And Deji is not a small boy. Deji is a lawyer who has been called to, but he knows the law and he knows what it is to defend himself and to provide evidence. I'm interested in seeing all of this evidence. And then so Abdul Mahmoud continued by saying, this overcaution is not neutrality. It is a quiet surrender dressed in the garb of prudence. Other groups do not behave this way. Atiku went to court against Onoche for defamation. Tinubu did the same against Dokbesi and AIT. In neither case did their ethnic groups rise to caution them against the pursuit of justice. They understood instinctively that reputation is political capital, and to defend it is not only personal but collective. When people make a habit of holding back, when they swallow insults in the name of caution, they diminish themselves. They teach the world that their rights are negotiable, their dignity expendable. Risk aversion carried to this extreme becomes a form of internal sabotage. It conditions a people to expect little, demand less, and accept whatever crumbs power deigns to throw their way. That's why someone will come and be proudly telling you that, oh, he's number 4 as the that deputy speaker that you people, whether is it number 4, be number 5, or be number 6, history has no place for overcautious people. Barrister AbdulMahmud continues. Rights are not guaranteed to those who whisper for themselves politely. They are won by those willing to assert their rights, even at risk. An ethnic group that recoils from this truth will forever be defined by others rather than defining itself. Abdul Mahmoud, wrote that. And I've always said something. You in fighting injustice, politeness is not a strategy. They want to tell you that, oh, it's because you did this, it's because you do that, that's why this did not go. And if you don't take time, you keep giving of yourself, you'll be bending backward, backward, backward until your back breaks. So the best thing to do is to stand up and fight for yourself. I saw somebody who says this whole thing ends with them. The other generation might be cautious because of what they have had to go through. I mean, it's not easy going through war and coming out of it and surviving. Definitely, you'll be cautious. But you see, the younger generation, they must not imbibe that timidity that the older generation has imbibed. They must stand. Because in this country, no Nigerian is more Nigerian than anyone. There's nobody who is more Nigerian than anyone. And there's no tribe that is more Nigerian than any tribe. We all are Nigerians. And we must, in this Nigeria, have equal rights and opportunity. And so, don't hold yourself back. Don't sell yourself short. Stand. Occupy your space. For you are alone the way you are. That's the mindset that we all must begin to imbibe. And so for those who are saying to Peter Obi that he should drop the case, he should not do this, he should not do that, nah. What must be done must be done. And if someone has evidence, it is only fair that the person brings forth the evidence. And every one of us, if we truly want good governance, accountability, and transparency, and integrity, then we must be interested in the things that happen, in this evidence that this lawyer has, so that we know whether to the kind of decision we were going to make, whether to continue with the decision we've made before, or reassess our decision and find another way. For I do not see why people are afraid of the word court or of evidence that will come out. Let it come out. Let everybody indeed see what is on ground. It is one thing to criticize someone. It is another thing to defame that person. And whenever someone is defamed, they have a right to go to court. And we should not tell them. We should stop the bad habit of enabling bad behavior and telling the person that has been wrong that they should be the one to let go, instead of calling the one that is doing the wrong to stop. We must stop that. Thank you so much for watching.